recently decided to go looking for a new light. And the reason I did is because I went from a high-tech 75-gallon to a low-tech 75-gallon, and the light I had wasn't going to work for a low-tech tank. But I also wanted to have the ability to switch it to a high-tech in the future. So I went looking for a light that was going to work for this 75-gallon. After doing some research and narrowing down which light I wanted to go with, I ended up selecting the Hygger Smart Light. And I have to be honest, this is probably the most excited I've been for a Hygger light yet. So what makes this Hygger Smart Light smart is that it's actually a Bluetooth controlled light. And so there are other lights out there on the market that are Bluetooth controlled, but I haven't found anything that's at this budget that has as many of the pros that this light has. So one of the first things I noticed of this light is that yes, it is a Bluetooth controlled light, but you don't have to use Bluetooth to control it and have some functionality with it. One of the really neat things about this light is that on the light itself, it comes with 4 buttons. It has a power button, it has a different mode button, and we'll get into the modes here in a minute, and then you can choose how bright you want the light. And so you can actually turn it up or down and adjust the brightness, which to me is a big deal because like I said, I'm going to be going with a low-tech planted tank right now where I don't need as much light, but I want the ability and the adaptability if I go to highlight later on that I can still use this light. When you take a look at the light itself, you can see it's made out of this aluminum alloy, which means it's going to be really good at reducing heat quickly and basically getting the heat out of the light very quickly, which is going to help it just survive a lot longer. The other thing about this light with the build is that it's fully sealed process, so you don't have to worry about splashing it or accidentally dropping it in your water. So now that you've seen how the buttons work and how you turn on the light and just do it manually, let me show you how it works with the Bluetooth app. So before you can start using this Hygger light through your Bluetooth app, you're going to have to download the Tuya app. And this is available for iPhone or Android. The light itself does come with a manual, so if you're having difficulty with setting up the light with the Tuya app, make sure you go ahead and refer to that manual, and I'll actually leave a link down below so that you can see exactly how you're supposed to set this up. Once you get the Tuya app set up though, and get into all the different features, you're going to find that this app is really, really easy to use. And I actually am really excited about this because I think it's one of the easiest apps I have seen to adjust your light and utilize to get exactly what you want out of it. So I mentioned before that there are a number of different preset functions on this light. You can take a look at them here on the app. You have the ability to set a sunlight mode, moonlight, fish light, or an ocean blue light. And really, any one of these, really, they all look pretty good, but depending on what you have for fish and what you have for your scape, you may like one of them better than another. Once you've decided that maybe you like one of those, you can also set and adjust for how long you have your light set up, basically using either the 24/7 daylight settings that they have, or you can go ahead and set your own individual times exactly how you want the light to either come on and off throughout the day, or run continuously throughout the day and adjusting the light as you want. Not only does the Hygger light come with these 4 preset options, but it also gives you the ability to set your own user-defined options for the light. And let's take a closer look at these. You have a huge gambit of light options. This is considered a full spectrum light, which means basically you can get all the lights out of this light, and you're going to have what they call a color rendering index of 90 plus, probably around that 95 mark, which is considered excellent and about as close as you can get from an LED light to look like actual sunlight. So first we're going to look at this with the red light on. Oh, that's the purple. There you go. There's the red light. So just the red, and you can see this really, really has a strong red light to it. If I add all the green on there, you kind of bring it to a yellow. If I add all the blue in there, it comes back to more of that natural looking light. That'd be like a 6700 Kelvin light. You can pull the green out, and then you get that purplish color there. And if I pull out the red, we get a very dark blue, and this is what I was talking about. You really can get a very, very dark blue. Now, if you adjust it based on Kelvin, you can be down as low as 3000 Kelvin, or move it all the way up to 6700 Kelvin. So there's a lot of variants there that you can have, and adjust according to what you want. You know, some lights are going to make your plants look a little brighter, some are going to make your fish look better, sometimes it makes your hardscape look better, and you have all of that ability here with this light. When you're choosing what color you want to set up, you actually have 300 color options, because each one of the color options has 100 different settings, and you can adjust it from 0 up to 100 on each one of these color settings. When you combine all those together, you end up with 300 color settings. But not only do you have the color settings, but then you can adjust the brightness of each one of those. So maybe you like a certain color, but you want it maybe a little brighter, a little less bright, and that's the way you want it set up. Maybe all those options are a little too much for you. You don't want to have all those options. Well, the nice thing about this light is it actually also comes where you can set the Kelvin. And Kelvin is basically where we look at what color, whether it's a warm light or cool light, is a lot of times how you'll talk about it. Warm lights tend to be a little bit more yellow. Cool lights tend to be a little bit more blue. And most of our light settings in our home are usually around that 3,000 to about 6,500, 7,000 Kelvin range, depending whether you like that really bright bluish light or maybe a little bit of a warmer yellow light. This Hygger light has the ability to be adjusted, that Kelvin, from anywhere from 3,000 Kelvin up to 6,700 Kelvin. And I think you guys are really going to be happy with probably anywhere in that range, in all honesty, depending on, again, how you have your fish tank set up and what's going to look best to your eye. I usually like to keep it set right around that 5,000 mark. So a couple of the other things that really sold me on this light, besides the price, which is great, by the way, but besides the price, was the fact that this is a flicker-free light. Now, some of the kind of the cheaper made and maybe not so nice aquarium LED lights end up having a little bit of a flicker, and that can drive me absolutely nuts, and I really don't like that, and I'm sure my fish don't like it either. So I was glad that this is one of those flicker-free lights. You're not going to have that crazy blinking that sometimes you get in the LED lights. The other thing, and this was probably the biggest factor for me with going with a Bluetooth light. A lot of these Bluetooth lights don't have the ability to come back onto their original time settings once they've lost power. So sometimes, you know, these Bluetooth lights that are out there, you'll lose power and you'll come home and be like, oh, my light's not on, not really think about it. And then all of a sudden it goes off at 2 in the morning and wakes up the whole house, right? Well, this has the ability to actually remember. So if it loses power, within an hour, it's going to reset itself and go back to being on and following the time that you have it set. I am really excited about this light. And it's actually the first light that I'm recommending to you guys, because I really do think that this is a great light that you're going to like, that is going to be budget friendly for you, that has all the different options you want. And I think if you get it, you're definitely going to be happy with it. So I definitely recommend this light. Go ahead, check out the links below. You can check it out yourself. If you guys liked this review, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video.